Howdy. This image is the wrong way round, so hopefully I can flip it afterwards. I just thought I'd take a chance to do a quick video of this lunchbox head, which I've done for Lewis down at LT Custom Guitars. Check out his stuff. Yeah, he said he wanted sort of something pretty compact and convenient. So this is a kind of hybrid of the DUALIST. I'd say perhaps we call it a DUALIST Lite. It's the same core essential circuit, but without all the switching options and all the fancy stuff, because there just isn't room for it in here. Obviously it's got no reverb, but it has got a tube buffered effects loop, the same as in the DUALIST. So it's pretty easy to stick a reverb pedal in the loop or whatever else you want. So yeah, I thought I'd give you a quick look at it before it disappears. This is a prototype, so you'll notice I've kind of hand marked the cabinet, which is a standard off-the-shelf Hammond unit with a lid. So yeah, it's the first one I've done like this, so I thought I'd just give you a quick look at it. I've unscrewed it, so that's quite useful. So if I take the top off, so this is a single-ended Class A output stage with either a KT88 or a 6550 tube. Comes out at around about 15 watts, and yeah, it's still pretty pokey really. So on the front we've just got what is essentially the overdrive mode of the DUALIST, so the dual stage with gain 1 and gain 2. And instead of switching channels like on the DUALIST, what I've done is I've just basically put a switch on gain 2. So gain 2 goes from like a minimum kind of level, moderately clean to sort of semi overdriven, and then you can pull the boost to get extra saturation. It's also got a master volume on there. So yeah, it's quite cute. It's the first one I've done. I've no idea whether anybody else is interested in them. Obviously, you know, long term might be worth having a custom chassis made for it. But this fitted the bill. If I quickly turn it around for you, on the rear side, just a 4 and 8 ohm output for speakers, and an effects loop there, which is a tube buffered effects loop. So I thought that was quite useful without having the reverb. And you can actually foot switch it, although it's a semi-hot switching process, so you probably need to use you need to use a screen guitar cable on a foot switch to do that. Otherwise you might get a few outboard noise issues, but yeah, quite pleased with that. Let me just give you a quick scan of the inside. As you can see, it's pretty much built like I would build the DUALIST and any other amp. Combination of eyelet board and point-to-point wiring. That's why essentially I can't put any major switching circuits. So the DUALIST has got all sorts of relays and stuff like that in it. I guess if it was on a micro or miniaturized PCB, that's how most manufacturers would tend to manage to get all that fancy stuff going on. But this is built the old-fashioned way, so as you can see, space is pretty tight really, so there's not a lot of space for all sorts of switching stuff going on. So essentially it's a single channel amp, DUALIST in the dual mode, with not so many features and a very squeezed size at around 15 watts. Something like this, obviously you can put maybe something even quieter in it, like you know, maybe a single 6v6 or a 6L6. 6v6, probably drop it down to maybe, you know, 4, 5, 6 watts. But we all know watts is not volume, so I won't get into that argument today. Either way, it's still pretty loud. And oh, the other thing to mention, I think, which is different to a lot of lunchboxes, this one has actually still got a tube rectifier. So it's all tube, there's no solid state in it at all. and I think that potentially is what maybe sets it apart a little bit from a lot of the other lunchboxes out there. So it's a single-ended Class A output stage, tube rectified, a dual gain stage, preamp circuit, and a tube rectified effects loop. So there you go. I will try and flip this video. This is not my thing. I'm really not into IT, and I'm not into doing videos. I've got other things to do, quite frankly. But hopefully I can switch this around so that everything's not the wrong way around later. Hopefully. Back to Samantha Fish.